In the next 2 hours, the person you love most will make a choice that changes everything. A decision is forming, not in the heavens but here on earth. Not in theory, but in the living, beating heart of someone who has held a piece of your soul. Within the next 2 hours, something is shifting. The person you love most, the one whose choices echo through your chest like thunder in a canyon, is being spiritually pressed to choose. And this decision is no ordinary choice. It is a turning point, a divine inflection that will send a ripple through your destiny. Not by your will, but by theirs. Not in your timing, but in divine alignment. Archangel Michael now stands at the gates of your revelation, sword drawn, eyes aflame, ready to uncover what the darkness tried to conceal. There has been confusion in your atmosphere, emotional turbulence, the sudden silence, the quick replies that feel half empty, the distractions, the delays, the disconnect. You are not paranoid. You are not overthinking. You are discerning, and the spirit realm is whispering through your sensitivity. This moment is not random. This window of time is sacred. Heaven has orchestrated a divine setup where the layers of intention, temptation, and true loyalty are being exposed. Before the next 2 hours pass, a soul will choose between the alignment of destiny and the detour of delay. You will either be pulled deeper into union or propelled higher into elevation. Either way, the decision will serve your spiritual development. Heaven is not watching from a distance. It is speaking through fire and timing. It is guiding through silence and spirit. Archangel Michael is not just near. He is stationed, assigned, positioned beside you to ensure that no weapon, no lie, no confusion shall prosper in this hour of decision. The person you love is not just choosing for themselves. They are unlocking something in you. What they decide may shift the landscape of your future. But what you do in this moment, how you respond, will determine how you rise. Heaven is speaking through Archangel Michael. Hear this clearly, beloved. You have 2 hours, and they are watching. The eyes that once adored you, the spirit that once danced in harmony with yours, is now hovering between memory and mystery. This is not a coincidence. This is a divine setup. A celestial clock is ticking, and within this limited frame of time, a choice will be made. And while it may feel like it's about love, it's really about alignment. The Spirit is sounding the trumpet now because the weight of what's about to happen is not something you can brush off. There is movement in the atmosphere, shifting, stirring, reshaping connections, revealing intentions. What has been hidden is coming into view. What had been whispered behind closed hearts is being shouted in the heavens. You feel it because you're meant to. You sense the disturbance not as a punishment but as a prophecy. You're not imagining it. You're not being dramatic. You're being spiritually awakened. There is a reason their silence suddenly feels heavier. There is a reason your spirit can't rest. There is a reason the air around you has thickened with tension. Heaven is speaking. And Michael, the archangel of war and divine order, is alerting you now, not to panic, but to prepare. Because what's about to unfold isn't just emotional, it's eternal. You see, the one you love most, the one whose presence once anchored your days and warmed your nights, is now being faced with a soul decision. And it has nothing to do with convenience, and everything to do with character. The angels are watching. The spirits are leaning in. The enemy is whispering, and the heavens are roaring. Before the clock resets, a soul decision will be made. One that alters timelines. One that shifts energies. One that either aligns or divides. You don't need to interfere. You need to discern. You don't need to speak. You need to listen. Because every second between now and then is infused with divine purpose. You're not the only one who feels it. The angels feel it. The enemy senses it. The person you love, though they may not fully admit it, feels it in the pit of their spirit. Something is about to change. You are being called, not to fix, but to witness. Not to convince, but to surrender. Because heaven has arranged this moment as a test, a turning, a truth. But do not fear. You are protected. Even if they leave, you are protected. Even if they choose silence, you are protected. Even if the answer you hoped for doesn't manifest, your soul is not left uncovered. Archangel Michael has placed his sword between you and confusion, between you and manipulation, between you and premature attachment. Stay alert. Stay open. Stay surrendered. This is a sacred countdown, not to heartbreak, but to revelation. And the Spirit says, before they choose you or leave you, I will choose you again. Heaven has not forgotten you. Type I am anointed in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1516 is now activated. They've been acting distant, haven't they? The calls that used to come with excitement now feel obligatory. The laughter that once wrapped around your heart like a warm blanket now feels rehearsed. The eyes that once looked at you like you were the only soul in the room now glance through you, as if searching for something else. You sensed it. The disconnection. The delay in response. The avoidance. It didn't happen all at once, but slowly, like a door quietly creaking shut behind your back. Archangel Michael speaks with fire. This is not paranoia. This is perception. There is a spiritual tension pulling on their soul. They are in conflict, not just with you, but within themselves. And the enemy is opportunistic. Where there is hesitation, he introduces temptation. Where there is silence, he inserts suspicion. Where there is emotional space, he begins to whisper confusion. There's a whisper in their heart they will admit. A questioning voice that wasn't there before. And that voice isn't yours. Another influence has entered the equation, whether it's a friend, an old flame, a spiritual attack, or even a toxic wound from their past. Something has been sowing discord into their perception of you. And what makes this battle so cruel is that you feel it, but they won't say it. They've uncovered something, but only a fragment, a half-truth, a twisted piece of misinterpreted energy that's being manipulated in the shadows. And instead of confronting you, they're entertaining it. They're meditating on doubts. They're giving airtime to insecurities that were never yours to carry. And while they smile in your face, their spirit is split behind your back. Someone is planting seeds against you. Someone who fears your union. Someone who benefits from their confusion. It could be a friend speaking in whispers, a family member clinging to control, a past ex lingering in the background, or even their own shadow, projecting fear where love once lived. But make no mistake, those seeds are real, and you've been feeling their weight. What if their love is now a battlefield? What if the person who once held your hand is now holding a decision you weren't prepared to face? What if they are no longer choosing you from clarity, but from chaos? This is why your emotions have been scattered. This is why you've had sudden waves of anxiety that can't be explained. This is why your peace has been disturbed. You are not imagining it. Your spirit is reacting to the storm they are entertaining. Heaven is not exposing this to hurt you, but to awaken you. This is not about control. This is about clarity. And clarity doesn't always come in the words they say. It comes in what they avoid. the missed calls, the passive tone, the half-hearted compliments, the emotional dodging. That is the evidence. They are wrestling with a choice they haven't spoken, but you've already sensed it in your soul. But hear this: you are not the problem. You are the light. And light always agitates darkness before it casts it out. Your presence is a mirror to their soul. And right now, that mirror is showing them their own spiritual indecision, and it's uncomfortable. They love you, but they fear the responsibility. They need you, but they fear being exposed. They want the connection, but they are being pulled by the opinions of others. This is your wake-up call. Stop pretending you don't feel it. Stop shrinking your awareness to preserve their comfort. Heaven is trying to reveal what they've tried to hide. And though your heart may ache with confusion, your spirit must rise with discernment. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 999 is now surrounding you. This is not just heartbreak, it's spiritual positioning. Archangel Michael declares, the war is not between you and them. The war is between your calling and their confusion. You were not sent here to beg for crumbs of love. You were not created to chase uncertainty. You are chosen. You are anointed. And the turmoil in their spirit is a reaction to your divine identity. You carry a frequency that demands alignment. That frequency is agitating every unhealed wound in them. That frequency is exposing every lie they believe about love. That frequency is unsettling the enemy. Your presence reveals what their past tried to bury. This is not about rejection. It's about refinement. God is using this moment to reveal who is for you, who is with you, and who is pretending. Because where you are going, you cannot afford to be entangled with someone who is still negotiating your worth in their mind. This is not just emotional. This is warfare. The enemy doesn't just want their heart. He wants your focus. If he can distract you with doubt, he can derail your faith. If he can keep you checking your phone, he can keep you from listening to heaven. If he can pull your attention to their silence, he can keep you from hearing God's voice. But not this time. Because now you understand. Their free will is your confirmation. Your reaction is your warfare. The way you choose to respond is louder than anything they could ever say. Will you spiral or will you surrender? Will you chase or will you choose divine positioning? Will you try to fix or will you let God filter? You are not helpless. You are not abandoned. You are in the midst of a sacred spiritual test. They are torn because your spirit is different. They are unsettled because your love is pure. They are hesitant because you trigger transformation. That is your power. You disrupt the patterns that keep people bound. You agitate every comfort zone built by fear. You awaken purpose. And for some, that is terrifying. So don't internalize their confusion as your flaw. Internalize it as your assignment. You were sent to reveal, not to rescue. You were sent to mirror, not to mend. And right now, the Spirit says, stand still. Watch what happens when you stop chasing closure and start choosing clarity. Watch what happens when you let heaven speak louder than your emotions. Because no matter what they decide in the next 2 hours, you win. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $50. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the Support Here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type "I am covered" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1717 is now in motion. They are deciding, right now. This is not imagination. This is not speculation. This is not something that might happen in the distant future. It is happening in this exact moment. Even as these words reach your eyes, a decision is brewing in their spirit. And Archangel Michael declares, the next 2 hours determine your next 2 years. That's how pivotal this moment is. That's how much is riding on this choice. Not just for them, but for you. Because their decision is a mirror. It reflects the alignment of destiny. It reveals the intentions of the heart. And in this hour, time is not just passing. It is prophetic. It is sacred. It is alive. You felt it. The hesitation in their touch, the pause in their promises, the delay in their direction. And now, Spirit confirms what your soul has already suspected. A crossroads has formed in their heart. They are standing between two voices, one calling them back to divine truth, the other pulling them into confusion. And you, precious soul, are caught in the crossfire of that choice. Do not be fooled by their silence. Do not misread their casualness. Even if they appear indifferent, even if they seem calm, there is a war raging within them. And while you sit, wondering if you're overreacting, heaven is sounding the alarm. Something is about to shift. Someone may be influencing them. Someone who smiles in their face while stabbing your image in their mind. Someone who benefits from keeping them confused. Someone who carries an old familiarity, but a dangerous agenda. And it's not just people. Sometimes it's patterns. Old traumas. Childhood fears. Unhealed insecurities. These voices are speaking now, trying to sway the one you love into making a decision that could detour destiny. This is why your energy feels scattered. This is why your mind feels overwhelmed. Because in the spirit, a countdown has begun. And it's not just about romance, it's about revelation. Heaven isn't just watching. It is recording. It is weighing. It is separating what's divine from what's disguised. They may choose silence. They may choose distance. They may walk into a version of themselves that is not compatible with your purpose. But that doesn't mean you're losing. Sometimes, heaven allows a door to close, not as rejection, but as redirection. And if their heart walks away from you, it is because their spirit cannot walk with you. Do not try to interrupt. Do not try to control. Let heaven reveal what's hidden. Let the next 2 hours do what they were appointed to do. Because this moment was never about your ability to hold on. It was about your ability to let go and trust God. They are choosing. But so are you. You are choosing peace. You are choosing power. You are choosing perspective. You are choosing not to lower yourself to convince someone of what heaven has already confirmed. This is your test, too. And the archangel says, you are not being punished. You are being positioned. You're not losing them. You're gaining divine clarity. You're stepping out of illusion and into insight. And when clarity comes, it never leaves you empty. It frees you. It frees you from anxiety. It frees you from performing. It frees you from waiting for someone to choose what God already prepared. Let this next hour be sacred. Let this next hour be silent. And let it be spirit-led. Type "I trust heaven's timing" in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 4411 is now releasing divine awareness over you. Do not text. Do not chase. Do not let your need for answers sabotage your peace. There is power in restraint. There is healing in stillness. There is victory in your silence. Right now, the Spirit of the living God is instructing you. Hold your position. Stay planted in faith. The angels are already moving. Your silence is not weakness. It is a shield. It is a divine signal that says, I trust heaven more than I trust temporary emotion. Archangel Michael speaks now, with heavenly authority. Be still. Let the war fight itself. You are not being ignored. You are being upgraded. Heaven is clearing the space around you. Every spirit of confusion, every chain of codependency, every lie whispered into your identity is being broken. But the process requires your participation, and that participation begins with your posture. Not of panic, but of prayer. Not of reaction, but of revelation. Let heaven fight. Angels are intervening now. Yes, in this very moment. Where you cannot reach, they are touching. Where you cannot see, they are uncovering. Where you feel powerless, they are prevailing. This is the battle strategy of the Spirit. To remove your hands so heaven can release its hands. Stillness is louder than begging. When you refuse to chase, you invite clarity. When you step back, you allow them to step into accountability. And more than anything, your silence forces the truth to rise. If their heart is truly connected to you, they will feel your absence like a spiritual quake. If they are meant to stay, they will fight their way back to you with honesty and alignment. Sometimes love must let go to let God prove. Because real love is not coerced. Real love is not manipulated. Real love does not need to be convinced every 2 days. If it's divine, it will stand. If it's right, it will rise. And if it's chosen, it will return, not out of guilt, but out of glory. So today, take your hands off the outcome. You are not the savior of their soul. You are the steward of your peace. This is your assignment now, to surrender the weight of what if and lean into even if. Even if they walk away, you will not lose your value. Even if they turn cold, you will not turn bitter. Even if they choose wrong, you will still be right in the eyes of God. Archangel Michael has placed a circle of fire around your heart. Nothing will touch you that was not divinely permitted. No rejection, no betrayal, no confusion will be able to pierce the covering that now surrounds you. Do not fear. Do not chase. Do not beg. Watch what happens when you trust the silence more than the illusion. You're not being rejected. You're being refined. You're not being delayed. You're being defended. You're not being forgotten. You're being fortified. Let them choose what they must. But you choose peace. Type I am protected in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 2233 is now shielding your heart from false attachments. You are no longer the person who waited to be chosen. This shift, this pain, this pause, it has awakened something in you. It has lit a holy fire in your soul that refuses to burn for anything less than divine love. The illusion of needing them has collapsed. The illusion that their decision could make or break your destiny has shattered. Archangel Michael now lifts the veil. What they decide may affect your path, but it can never replace your purpose. The silence you feared is now your sanctuary. The distance that once devastated you is now your deliverance. Because now you see it, your worth is not in their words. Your value is not in their validation. Your future is not in their hands. They'll feel your absence stronger than they felt your presence. Not because you become bitter, but because you become brighter. You stopped dimming your light to accommodate their indecision. You stopped shrinking your vision to fit their comfort zone. You stopped postponing your purpose, waiting for someone else to catch up. And now you rise. You're stepping into divine favor. Not because of who left, but because of who remained you. You chose to stay rooted in truth. You chose not to react in panic. You chose not to beg, plead, or pursue validation. And heaven is honoring that choice. Archangel Michael stands beside you, roaring in the spirit. You have passed the test. You have held your position. Now receive your elevation. You are not weak for loving. You are strong for surviving. You are not foolish for hoping. You are wise for surrendering. What they couldn't see in you is now shining through you. You were never a backup plan. You were the blessing. You were never a maybe. You were the miracle. You were never an option. You were the open door they weren't ready to walk through. And that's the truth. You are the door. They don't hold the key. They are not the prize. They are not the source. You are the access point, the frequency, the divine pathway through which favor flows. You are the storm that teaches calm. You are the fire that refuses to be put out. You are the standard. And heaven is confirming that the pain they caused has become the prophecy of your power. Don't you see it? The 2-hour window wasn't about waiting for them. It was about watching you evolve. Watching you become untouchable in your peace. Watching you become irresistible in your purpose. Watching you finally recognize that what they choose won't define you, what you choose next will. So choose you. Choose your healing. Choose your purpose. Choose your peace. And know this. Their inability to choose you wasn't rejection. It was redirection to something greater. Type I choose me in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 818 is now unlocking personal power over your life. This is your final test before the spiritual elevation. The clock of the Spirit has struck this moment to awaken you fully. You are not just stepping away from emotional confusion. You are stepping into prophetic clarity. Archangel Michael speaks. This isn't about who loves you. This is about who can walk with your calling. That's why the tension rose. That's why the atmosphere shifted. That's why your spirit became restless. Because heaven was ready to graduate you, but your heart was still clinging to classroom relationships. And now the final bell has rung. You passed the test. Not because you didn't feel the pain, but because you didn't fold under it. You didn't curse your assignment. You didn't break your spiritual posture. You allowed the fire to refine you. And now, beloved, the shift is here. Divine alignment is unlocking over you. This is the moment where timelines realign. When the heavens move on your behalf. When doors begin to open without explanation. When peace returns like a flood. When favor finds you in hidden places. This is not imagination. This is spiritual promotion. The decision they made, or failed to make, has created space for God to make His move. You were never at the mercy of their confusion. You were at the edge of transformation. And now that you've let go, now that you've surrendered the outcome, now that you've aligned yourself with the will of the Most High, the blessing can finally land. Either way, love or loss, you win. If they return, it will be from a place of clarity, not chaos. If they depart, it will be because their spirit was not ready for your elevation. Either way, you are no longer waiting. You are walking. Walking into open doors. Walking into divine appointments. Walking into peace that doesn't require apology. Your new timeline begins now. This is not just a spiritual phrase. It is a supernatural decree. The old has expired. The delay has ended. The mourning had been heard. The cycle has closed. And before the clock completes its 2-hour countdown, you will feel it. A lift in your spirit. A calm in your emotions. a whisper of destiny in your soul. You'll wake up lighter, spiritually and emotionally. You'll feel the shift. The need to explain yourself will dissolve. The ache to fix what they broke will disappear. The burden of waiting will be lifted. And your spirit will whisper, "I'm free." Because this 2-hour window was not punishment. It was preparation. Heaven wasn't trying to withhold love. It was trying to deepen it. God wasn't delaying you. He was developing you. And what once felt like abandonment was actually acceleration. The confusion served its purpose. The silence did its work. The delay became your deliverance. This is your prophetic transformation. Step into it boldly. Do not look back. What couldn't stand with you now wasn't strong enough for where you're going next. And what God has for you on the other side of this decision is better than anything you could have imagined. If this message ignited something in you, and you feel led to support, you can give a super thanks of $20 or more. Your support keeps this sacred content alive and flowing to more souls in need. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type "I receive my shift" in the comments if you feel the breakthrough. Blessing code 3030 is now ushering you into elevation. Declare in the comments, "I choose divine alignment." Because in this moment, this holy window, your agreement isn't just seen, it's activated. Archangel Michael stands poised at the edge of heaven's threshold, sword drawn, fire in his voice, waiting for your declaration. Not because heaven is unsure, but because your agreement gives permission for acceleration. Your words move spirit. Your intention shifts atmosphere. Your alignment opens doors. This is not a suggestion. This is a spiritual command. When you speak the words, "I choose divine alignment," you are not just typing. You are testifying. You are calling angels to attention. You are breaking ties with confusion. You are stepping out of emotional patterns and stepping into prophetic precision. This is how breakthrough begins. You are not helpless. You are not a bystander in your own story. You are a co-creator with the divine. And every comment you post, every prayer you whisper, every agreement you make with heaven, it creates motion. It creates change. It releases intervention. Because the spirit realm is voice activated. Your silence may keep you protected, but your declaration will launch you forward. So pray. Pause. Receive. Don't rush to fix anything. Don't scramble to fill the silence. Don't panic in the presence of what feels unknown. Instead, plant yourself in stillness and open your spirit to what heaven is revealing. What if this delay is delivering discernment? What if their rejection is the reset that unlocks your real destiny? What if this tension is actually transition? You've already been through enough cycles of hoping and hurting, waiting and wondering. But today marks a spiritual revolution. A new page. A holy pivot. This is not the version of you who keeps tolerating spiritual confusion to maintain emotional connection. This is the version of you that chooses wisdom over reaction. Spirit over soul. Heaven over habit. Choose to respond with wisdom, not reaction. Do not let their silence trigger your spiral. Do not let their indecision infect your direction. Heaven says, this is the hour to move differently. This is the hour to let peace guide you, not panic. This is the hour to let surrender speak louder than suspicion. You don't need to prove anything anymore. You don't need to explain what your spirit already knows. And you certainly don't need to audition for anyone's approval. Because heaven already chose you. Heaven already confirmed you. Heaven already covered you. You're not helpless, you're heaven-backed. Let that sink in. Every time you held your tongue, heaven saw it. Every time you walked away from chaos, heaven celebrated it. Every time you trusted instead of reacted, heaven honored it. You are not operating in the dark. You are operating under divine command. Your tears have not been wasted. Your restraint has not gone unnoticed. And your faith has not been unrewarded. The angels are moving at the speed of your surrender. Declare it boldly now. Not later. Not after they choose you. Not after you feel closure. Declare it now, when it's hardest, because that's when it means the most. Type the words, I choose divine alignment. Let heaven echo with your agreement. Let the spirit realm shift in your favor. Let the divine energy of alignment wrap around you like a mantle of fire. Your stillness is making noise in the spirit realm. Your posture is shouting louder than any confrontation. Your surrender is piercing through the fog. Your peace is disarming confusion. You have entered the sacred realm of divine authority, and the next step is simple. Declare your position, and let heaven handle the rest. Type I choose divine alignment in the comments if you're ready to align with the Spirit. Blessing code 1212 is now opening your prophetic path. Love will always reveal who you are to them. Maybe not in the beginning. Maybe not in the ease. But in the choice. In the conflict. In the moment where alignment is tested, that's when love tells the truth. And Archangel Michael now releases this final word. You were never too much. You were the mirror. You were the test. You were the teacher of truth. So if they choose to walk away, let them. If they choose silence, let it be loud. If they choose confusion, let your clarity roar even louder. Because at the end of this test, your heart still belongs to heaven. And heaven has not failed you. You are enough, even if they don't see it yet. You were always enough. Not because of how you loved them, but because of how you remained true to your own divine identity in the process. You didn't break character. You didn't lower your frequency. You didn't betray yourself just to be accepted. That is rare. That is sacred. That is royal. Archangel Michael wraps his wings around your heart and declares, you are the treasure. You are the answered prayer. You are the divine proof that love still carries purity. And now, as the 2 hours approach their divine closure, a peace is being released over you, a peace that doesn't come from understanding, but from surrender. May divine peace settle your heart now. Not a surface peace, not a temporary calm, but a deep, resonating, heaven-born serenity that invades every chamber of your soul. The kind of peace that says, even if they never come back, I did not lose. Even if they never explain, I still have clarity. Even if they choose something else, I still choose heaven. This is the version of you that can no longer be shaken. This is the you that walks through emotional fire and comes out refined, not burned. This is the you that doesn't need a text back to feel seen. Doesn't need a call to feel chosen. Doesn't need their presence to feel whole. Because the Most High has already confirmed, you are not abandoned. You are being aligned. This final moment is not the end. It is the ignition. The moment you take your power back. The moment you say goodbye to the old timeline. The moment you step into wholeness, not because of what they chose, but because of what you chose not to carry anymore. Let this be your final word. Let this be your holy seal. This is your confirmation. Heaven is not late. Heaven is not silent. Heaven is not blind. Heaven is on time. and heaven is always working for your highest good. Type "I am aligned and at peace" in the comments if this word brought peace to your heart. Blessing code 777 is now surrounding you in completion.